It's so good to see you back for our next match. TSM Academy versus Clutch Gaming. Are you ready?
Oh, I am so ready.
I'm ready. You guys ready? Hell yeah. The squad in red have a tough task.
You got this.
Am I ready? The squad in red have a tough task this week as a coaching shakeup for the org will perhaps have some riddles on the Clutch Gaming squad.
Yeah, head coach of Clutch Gaming Academy, Max Scragg, no longer with them. And Artemis, the academy coach, will be doing double duty, being strategic coach for the LCS. Well, ThinkCard was also added to the roster. So what does this mean for the academy team when his coach is going to be split? Could it be that the team is elevated now with all the knowledge from LCS into the academy team, or could it be the opposite where you split yourself too thin and now no team can succeed?
True.
But whatever the case, they're up against Brandini, who has been performing super well for TSM's academy team.
He has been doing well. You've always seen Brandini kind of have a champion pool that can surprise people, or he himself can have a surprising game. So always somebody you have to watch. But as well, eyes will be on that bot lane for TSM.
That's right. TSM Johnson making his debut. And this is a tweet from the TSM Academy coach telling us that this has nothing to do with performance, and it's just a matter of giving him practice. And I can agree to that. Give the boy some room to grow when you got these solo queue stars like Revenge, which you saw in Game 1. See where they fit. How do they stand? When pressure's on the line, how do they continue to?
I always like Peter changes too. Like Peter, I believe he's a really good coach, has a great mind for the game. So seeing things he kind of instills into the team or employs for them is really cool.
Good dancer, great basketball player.
Absolutely. Can't forget about those things.
What can he do?
So time to start the roster rundown now. We'll start on the blue side. It is TSM Academy. That means it's Brandini in the top lane, Spica in the jungle, Ablaze Olive in mid, Johnson invisibly in bot lane, Treats at support, and Coach Peter.
And over on the red side, it's Clutch Gaming Academy with Rodov in the top lane, Jungle a major danger, Sun in the mid lane, Rikara playing bot, his support is Joey, and their coach, also part-time LCS coach, Artemis.
We did have the Kiana in that yesterday, remember, for DeMonte as he played it. I remember the...
it was breathtaking.
Yeah. Breathtaking. I think it was coming off the TL or C9 Academy stream when they were trying to kind of predict what's going to happen. And they were like, but wait, DeMonte's playing. They're like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like playing to get Kiana play DeMonte. I was like, this is interesting. It's cool. But Sun's back in.
Now we got Sun.
Sun's back in. Yeah. We got Johnson and Sun. Who's the better Sun? We will find out here in our third game of the day.
Imagine if they were siblings, and then their father is
sons of
John.
the same father. Yep.
Johnson and Son.
There you go. Johnson and Son. Sounds like a company.
It does. Isn't there one already called that?
It's Son and Sons and Sons, yeah, something like that. Lux, Callista, Sivir, and Karma. Ladies of the Rift finding themselves being banned out. Elise as well. Some demon. What do we have?
Elise. Interesting
Final
ban.
one.
Elise is the queen of camping top lane. Queen of tower dives. Queen of spiders.
Yep.
Arachnophobia.
There's quite a few people that can't watch Elise play. Yeah.
Because of that?
It's unfortunate.
You've got to be kidding.
No, it happens.
Wow.
Completely true. Yeah.
That blows my mind. That's...
Good thing you're not a player that has that problem.
Yeah.
You just have to alt F4 when it comes to your lane. Sejuani, 3 games in a row. First pick.
Well, it's the best jungler right now, and TSM loves their Sejuani players, so we got ourselves another one. But will we see Silas as the response again?
Should have a skin with a bunch of pockets filled with wards on their Sejuani.
Give us the esports skin.
Yeah. Yumi's been banned out. Sivir's actually off the table for themselves.
Again?
You know what? Final chapter would be a dank ult to steal if Silas was against the Yumi. That's pretty sick.
It is.
Your own
really
movement
good. It's
in
a really
a
good
7-shot final chapter. Let's go.
I'm just confused
that it's
3 games back to back to back. Sejuani first pick, second rotation red side takes
Silas
as the jungle already. Just jungle Silas. Give it to me.
Well, you get the ult. You're also getting Sejuani, but slightly better if you decide how the composition wants to be played out. So
I guess, right? You get a Sejuani that has more ultimates, and late game it's going to be definitely stronger ult-wise.
Right now he's got 3 pretty sick ultimates to use if they do lock in the Lucian. Depth charge is amazing for Silas to use. Lucian, obviously you're going to get that a kill maybe. Culling's not huge, but still great.
He's a better ganker than Trundle. Oh.
It doesn't matter who's in mid lane for clutch. They want a Kiana. Maybe. I could be lying here.
They're gonna do it. He saw the Monte do it. Yes!
Ooh.
All right. Kiana.
Very nice. Kiana getting locked in on the side of clutch. So they'll play that 2 times in a row. Seems like a champion that this happens as well. One, when the person can play it, but the team can play around it, because that can be tough if the team doesn't know to do X when you're doing Y.
But did you now see what went down? Diana ban. Is that the pick that we see against Kiana now?
It could be.
She got a quality of life.
You avoid the first burst, CC, and then 3-shot, right?
Right.
You
She's
get that
super
huge,
burst.
Yeah, huge hit.
Bursty. Huh.
So Aatrox also has not been picked, but we do see the Renekton banned out. So I'm expecting to see Aatrox for top lane here on the side of Clutch Gaming Academy.
Dude. Kiana on stealth with Yuumi.
Oh, that would be disgusting.
Right?
Because, I always think of like a Kane game that gave me nightmares when he was running around with Yuumi. But Kiana would be, you have a lot of terrain to take.
Grass.
Okay. You're at 900 miles an hour.
That's going to be a crazy... What if, actually, you could just run Kiana Yuumi bottom lane? That sounds like something that's viable.
They banned Sivir so they could get Yuumi. Because you usually don't take Yuumi without Sivir. It's just a nice comp. You won't start going towards it if you don't have it. So that guarantees them Yuumi. Then they say, yeah, we'll get Kiana because they didn't ban. So I like that a little back and forth there, if that's why they banned Sivir, to deter TSM from grabbing it. We're into second phase already. We see a bot lane getting hit. Ricard says, Kaisa, thank you very much. And we're going to see what a Blaze Olive it has. It might just be the wheelhouse of Azir. He loves it.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone is going to show us how Azir goes into Kiana, it's going to be a Blaze Olive. The man's been maining Azir for God knows how long.
I feel like a lot of the, like Palafox, him, a lot of the Academy guys are pretty good at Azir.
Yeah. It's a crazy late game champion that allows the individual to 1v5, right? You're kind of the mastermind. I put my soldiers and they do my bidding.
If you're good at keeping soldiers up, that passive attack speed on W is disgusting. 3 soldiers, level 5, 60% extra.
Yeah. This is already a crazy good comp out of TSM, by the way. This is so meta, so strong, too. Lots of crowd control, lots of engage, and every single member has a dash. Don't forget that.
I actually like the Camille over the Aatrox a lot more. We saw it kind of banned out in this situation, but also playing the Camille's favor. Hook shot Yuumi forward. Bro, you get final chapter out of that immediately. So much distance to close, and you can start just waving on a team. That's actually pretty sick.
That is.
I like it. Let's see it.
There's a lot of creativity available with Clutch Gaming, because you could also do it with Ricard. If you start the final chapter
get in there
while he's dashing midair on his ult, by the time you land, he already hits you. You get locked down.
I cannot wait. We're about to see Clutch and TSM go head-to-head here in the Academy League. Had pretty decent games today. Quick games. CU9 was able to find their win. Echo Fox did not find the win or they did find a win in their first game, I should say, over Optic, as I remember correctly.
Well, if you love Sejuani, these are the games for you.
Was it Echo Fox?
And if you don't, then you love Silas, so
No,
stay
Echo Fox
watching.
was last game.
Because he's fun too.
Don't let me talk anymore, Crumbs.
All right.
Giving out wrong information.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Johnson, make the debut.
Don't make it start like this. Oh, he actually starts with Relentless Pursuit. Not a terrible thing for Lucian to start with in lane. You do lose a bit of harass. Okay, now it gets a bit tougher for him. So no flashes were blown to run him down. He did have to use flash, and he starts E on Lucian.
Yeah, I think he'll be safe still, but boy, that is nasty.
Minions have spawned.
So not a problem. See how they play it.
Unless they get punished in the bottom lane,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
would actually benefit Spica in the jungle because Brandini got to get in there and ward the red side. So Major Danger is going to be spotted out as he's starting on the red side of the jungle. And TSM just gets to jungle without giving away their jungler's position. That tends to have a much bigger impact on the map. The only thing that would change that is if Spica decides to run back to the doubles, do the camps there, and be spotted out. But you can tell by the way that he's positioning from one camp to the other that he's not going to do that. Always remember, when you do one camp, start inching it away towards the next camp. Every second counts.
Let's see, Sun starting Q. In lane, keeping it safe. Ooh. And the Blaze Olive. I'm not sure, like, anybody, at this point, you've had too many matches against Kiana. So it's always a learning kind of instance now. Oh, nice thread of the dredge line in there to get a hook on to Joey. Remember, there was that change for Yuumi where she can't exactly kind of devour herself if she's flying to a champion. You can be pulled out of that, and Treats making it work.
Yeah, the E actually comes in pretty handy against Kaisa and Yuumi, dodging out of Qs and Ws left, right, and center. But I think we're actually just going to get a nice little farmy game because these junglers will have to be the ones finding a route. I just don't see a world where mid lane turns into a bloodbath. It's Nazir lane. He almost never beats.
Use the Twitch edge there to get some damage in, but these trades are not in Sun's favor at this point. He's hoping that assassin damage come out, but don't have too much damage to provide at this point up to the soldiers of a Blaze Olive here. Farming out the lane will be the safest thing, it seems. And a decent push to the turret here. Rodov saying, please don't mess up my minion line too much. A nice clear on 2, 3. Great cleanup by Rodov here. Beautiful CSing.
So what Brandini can do to make his laning just next level is always stand on top of the minions that the other guy wants to.
Oh, the next one?
Yeah, don't let him see the HP, right? So if you just stand on top of it every single time, you force the opponent to be a god at clicking or accidentally auto you at a poor time, missing the minion, drawing creep aggro, and then you win the trade. And you start building a CS lead. So those are the minor things in the lanes that players do that just allow you to slowly but surely build a lead and really put pressure on the other guy, because if he's not used to playing against somebody that does that, he's going to have to use all his brain power to figure out how to deal with it. And
you're not focusing on what you want to focus on.
Right.
Your regular game. Yeah, that makes such a big difference. I know there's times when I go into a game and I'm like, this game, I'm going to focus on X. And like a level in, you don't even remember that you're focusing on X, and you get into that game and you do something, right? So it's like, to be thrown off of that is so difficult.
To me, that happens beyond the game. That happens in everyday life.
Hell yeah,
like,
dude. You get out of the car in the wrong way
this.
and you leave the lights on. Or you forget to take your belt off if you do a different order of things.
Oh, yeah.
You mess up your order of laning phase and you are out on up the creek without a paddle, man. Uh-oh. He was going to take a quick, swift kick to the butt there as Brandini turned around on that, and he is safe. 5 minutes rolling on through the clock. No real lead to any lane. Junglers have seen each other a few times, really not been able to take advantage of it, and we are keeping an eye on Johnson's flash. He was able to stay safe there, and not too much punish has come from that early invade where it blew his flash.
So Rodov is just hard trading with Brandini here, trying to dive this
like
wave.
it.
And I think they're going to succeed at it. His hook shot is going to be back up, and
Right
Brandini
before
does
6.
touchdowns. The ward spots in major danger. Look at all the people coming. Everybody's in the top lane now.
Kiana's going to get there. Maybe a bit of an assist. Teleport in there from a Blaze Olive. What a fast call from Brandini to call for the help of Blaze Olive to act on it. They're going to get the return kill. Rodolph with such a decent lane, and it all turns around so fast in the first blood.
And it was all because Brandini smelled it. He could sniff that Rodov was pushing for a reason. It wasn't just to be a super aggressive Camille. It was to set him up. It was a trap. And the counter engage gets it done. And it's a Blaze Olive that actually saves the entire play.
Crazy stuff. It can turn around that quick. Spica as well with a nice pathing. pick it up.
It's weird to me that Clutch Gaming did not turn on Spica sooner when he walked the reward. The fact that he connected that Arctic Assault is a little suspect for me because I think Major Danger could have been able to stop it as a Conqueror Silas. You can typically beat Camille's.
Oh. Yeah, the Aatrox rinse and repeat ganks today are literally a deja vu scenario. We saw the same thing happening here to Revenge. Juke's got a little bit of the same thing, I believe, as well. Rodolph maybe finishing here, the hook shot to the right side of the wall, but Spica's back. Rodolph, maybe a little deja vu for himself. If he goes down here, Spica's gonna get the stun down. They don't have enough follow-up damage. There's a huge minion wave cutting at Rodolph right now, but it's gonna be enough. Sun coming in from the mid lane with a double kill on the Kiana.
What a great debut out of him, taking a note out of his LCS mid laner, and now we got a 2-0 Kiana. Just so powerful. And I know that when you hit that ultimate on that wall, the shatter goes everywhere, so he already watched the champion spotlight.
It's so difficult if you can get ult on wall. Anybody's even near it, you're spelling terrible things. We'll see how it all happened here again. And look at where Kiana is actually. Knowing this fight could take a long time, yeah, I'll take this time.
He's got priority, but the minion wave is really what allows Brandini to fight so long. And Rodolph actually should have flashed for that W, thinking that it was going to be in range. That would have made a world of difference because he would have been able to take down Brandini all on his own, and then Kiana would have been able to follow up. But instead, he's a bro and lets the mid laner take both kills. And when you're dealing with an assassin, you want him to have all the gold in the world.
All right, eyes focus back onto this bot lane. 65 to 68 in CS. All that's there to be cleared up, so basically even, if you really want to call it that. Johnson staying safe with that scepter. They know they don't want to go hard on this lane. It'll just be healed up, and all that sustain will be thrown back at them in Kai'Sa's damage. Rikara, pickaxe for himself. And it doesn't look like they'll back just yet, as things are slowing down here at the 8-minute mark.
So that really is just a hula hoop of death.
Yeah.
I've been through some YouTube hula hoop binges in my time, and let me tell you, it gets really impressive. I thought it was just a child's play at first, until you see a circus.
I think one of the hardest things is knowing what she's coming into the fight with. What you're about to endure. Is it, the crowd control? Is it just a bunch of front-end burst damage right away? Usually it's all at the same time. But kind of knowing that allows you to predict what you're going to do next instead of stand there and get stunned or take that huge burst of damage instead of flashing away.
I think the counterplay is going to be how it is against Sona, where you just don't really care. You have no idea what she's going to come out. You don't think, is Sona pressing speed, heal, or damage right now? I don't know. She's just pressing buttons and we're dying. So I think that's kind of how Kiana is right now, where the spells are so fast and so quickly interjected that it almost doesn't matter because you can't track it. So you just assume the worst. When she comes in, you think, she's gonna stun me, burst me, and be stealth.
It's actually pretty terrifying.
And she just doesn't look like a killer. That's the thing that is difficult. He looks friendly.
Bit of damage, that's Q. Blade of Ixtal, a little more of a hit, and she's out. Easy peasy. Going for that serrated Dirk on top of Long Swords. Looks a lot like a Talon, if you ask me. It's just building up. Mobility overwall is always something that I feel is not underrated, but people forget that they have that, and they kind of use it to refight, not reposition.
Underappreciated.
There you go. Underappreciated. Oh. Knocked back. Still pretty tanky already in this aspect. Level 9 to level 9 still. Didn't seem to take too much off that first hit from a Blaze Olive's ultimate, but does gain mid control.
Pretty good pick into Kiana, I must say. Always being able to just knock her back. It's one of the reasons why Zed was so popular against this year. You really couldn't get knocked back. The shadows allowed you to get past it very easily, whereas Kiana cannot.
kick. Brandini is not having a fun time up here. Aatroxes today are just not faring well. There's a chance for that to change.
Oh,
nice hit. Ult stolen.
that was like the worst ult to steal.
I know, it feels so bad. Imagine if you just use it thinking you get it. You're like, wait a minute.
Like, I got him. I got his ult. Let me in.
Oh, there's the lockdown on Rodov. That's what happens. We got two melees bashing with Sejuani. Nice job by Brandini and Spica to get that kill on the top side. Shut down Rodov just a little bit as he was having a good farm lane. And we got a Blaze Olive back in mid with treats.
That's what we get for doubting Aatrox.
Just saying, not faring well. Welcome to the jam.
Actually, it's just top laners, except Arshan. He had a really pop-off game.
Yeah, he had a pretty crazy Renekton game for Golden Guardians. So it looks like Rift is going to be stolen. Shelly will be off the map. Sun in. Oh, the minion right there. Depth charge goes down. Nice ult back by Sun. He keeps himself safe. He's good to go.
There were no soldiers available for the follow-up onto Sun, even though the rest of the team was there. And now the Yuumi engage.
Final chapter on Yuumi. We're talking about the follow-up after this. The Killer Instinct goes in. Who's going to get that next death? We already lost Sun on this one. The lights have gone out as soldiers are going to attack once more. The heal from Joey's Yuumi just kept Major Danger very alive.
You looked at the heal. I was looking at a Blaze Olive's soldiers. I mean, the guy was Alexander the Great there, ordering everyone, just take him down.
I like it.
I just think of that kind of soldier.
I always thought of Azir as more of like the 300 Xerxes guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yes, he talks like this.
And he's yellow, so he's full of gold.
Yeah. Something like that.
I think we're kind of in the same kind of era, though, right? Like all of these characters would fit inside a Native Vampires game, which to me
So
it
true.
just counts as that's history.
Taking stock of everything here. There's the stinger for a Blaze Olive. Feels great to have that attack speed on Azir. Keep charging himself up. You gonna clear it? You're not gonna clear it.
You know who doesn't feel great with that stinger? It's Rodov. He would have much rather have a Sheen at this point, because that stinger is not adding a lot of damage.
Oh, you're true. He's got a Nash's Tooth. He's got a stinger.
Yes.
Good call, Crumbs.
Whoopsies.
Hot damn. You're on the ball. So interesting to watch. And kind of who chooses what in what situation. Whether you go from river to rain.
Well, you change it with every Q, so it's pretty interjectable, which
For sure.
is nice.
There you go. And grab there. Ult is up for Sun. Ult's up across the board. Rodov's about to get that Hextech ultimatum back. Spica used his recently, actually. A little back and forth, so we'll be waiting for that.
There's no big item power spikes, but there are 2 stopwatches in Rikara and the Blaze Olive, which will be a pretty big deal. Blaze Olive is so solid on Azir. I wonder at this point how much of the Azir tips are shared between him and Bjergsen, where
Yeah.
they're both just great on the pick. They're both on the same team. We know they practice together, so it's bound to happen.
Oh my. That was the dankest Shadow Hide ever. I mean, I didn't even see how he got in there with Spica hovering on the brush.
I think that's what you call the caster curse, is it not?
That was
The
amazing.
second I start saying, "Oh yeah, Blaze Olive dies easily."
Just hiding off in the shadows. Over the wall, in smite range, one attack! I kind of felt that was going to Spica. It's held out. Major Danger's not even looking at a smite there. What a dangerous time to try that one.
I don't think he even had it.
Yeah, exactly. Whoopsies, and that's a Mountain Drake now traded over. One for each here.
That's a big deal. That Mountain Dragon on an Azir and Lucian team with the Blade of the Ruined King means that suddenly both teams have a super viable path to a Trillium and Baron.
And you actually do get an advantage. You get the next Mountain Drake. You're the only one having that second objective hit, so He'll be a little bit stronger towards that. Only Infernals, Oceans, Clouds after. We haven't seen any Oceans. First game. Things are getting crazy here. Topsy-turvy, Chromes.
Oh, let's
Oh,
take another
look at
this one.
In here, Speaker does it.
Oh,
He does.
Look at that.
And then he threw it over the wall.
You hate to see it. He thought he had a nice little lead there.
That's crazy. Just a second away from being seen getting around that corner. Treats trying to do a lane gank of his own. Oh, he goes for the anchor toss on the hook shot. What a conditional thing to hit. That gives the kill over now to the side of CG, and they can reset for this fight to watch it. They know they have a lot of HP on the other side facing them, but they still might want it. Depth charge could stop Treats. They got a long chase down the lane. That gives Speaka the advantage. They're going to have to throw it back onto Johnson now. Johnson maybe get his first action of the game here. Culling goes out just short on the heels of Major Danger, and that's going to be actually his first kill on the Rodov. A quick turn onto Speaka. That's not a follow from Ricaro whatsoever. And his son's going to be hovering here. Maybe he finds somebody low health trying to exit back to the jungle, but he's going to have to be careful. I like the steal on the Blast Cone resource.
And that fight in the top lane is a result of the bottom lane tower being taken out by Johnson. The bottom lane rotates top, and it's just a classic play. I mean, this is straight up textbook bot lane moves where before you make your lanes up to the top lane, you keep your top laner there to see if you can sneak in an extra gank. Can you get a lane gank? And they do. That's one of the powers that Kaisa Yuumi brings to the table. Unfortunately, they don't get that much more and end up losing some members along the way, but the idea is still the same. Every team's got to go for these plays, and it's good to see that even in the academy, they're taking true to what pro teams go for.
Question marks on Sun mid. He doesn't have any protection here. They know it with a pink ward just to his right. Almost gets shoved down. Flashed up and nicely done to get himself over Emperor's Divide. Continue the fight now. Beautiful finger work from Sun here in the fight to keep it technical. That final chapter almost hitting Brandini. Does catch him on the end, but he just got under the turret enough for defense. Watch the rotation now from Johnson and Treats. Looks like they'll stop coming down for the fight, but they will come down for protection.
Sun clearly knows Qiyana better than the Blaze Olive here, because I was even surprised seeing at Qiyana dash through the Azir ultimate. I think maybe if you just wait for the initial knockback, you don't have to wait for it to be fully on the floor before you can dash through. Let's take another look.
That's a hit.
Right? Like, how did he... He should have been on the other side of the wall, but he managed to stay on the side of Blaze Olive.
So there was the change that at the end, it won't bump you anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe it calculated end while he was kind of hitting flash, kept him middle, and then he audacity charged forward.
He used the ult, the Qiyana ult, and then that triggered the walls, right? You see how the fire spread out everywhere?
Yeah.
So I guess it counts as the ultimate as another terrain to slam a wall into.
Interesting. Definitely worth a watch. See, these are the interactions that happen so quick. Like we saw Demonte take down 4 people in the Baron pit, and you're like, did he sneeze?
Right.
What? I think Qiyana sneezed. But yeah, it's going to be awesome to watch how everything is kind of, you know, orchestrated by the top Qiyana players and how they thread her abilities through, and we see them take down their opponents. Sun doing quite well. One after the other, he's got to fill the shoes of Demonte on this one, and he's doing quite well.
That's what makes the game so interesting, where the patches just change the dynamic of every champion interacting with each other, and the quickest to learn will be the quickest to thrive. You got to learn the fundamentals that transcend patches, and then the ability to learn quickly and adapt. So it's a tough job.
Some little things you look at. Kind of like Aatrox running around. Like, right? See, he puts his sword out and he's got Harbinger stance. He's going to heal off the next attack.
The colors, right?
Yeah, little things. He also puts his sword out in the front. Like, you're going to poke somebody in the butt or something. I don't know why it's always in the butt. But it's a good place, I guess, to poke somebody with a sword.
I guess everywhere else really feels like a mortal attack, whereas a poke there is like, whatever. Right? You're like, oh, I'm gonna poke your shins. Like, wait a minute,
Don't do that. That stinks. No shin poking. Hook shot in. Oh, never mind. Rodolph will not be attacking Rikara because he's on his own team. I'm like, why didn't he second hook shot? That makes no sense. We can see Rikara just teleported back into lane, making sure mid stays healthy. It's actually quite low for the side of Clutch, so that's going to be quite a big focus here for TSM. The Blaze Olive can't just throw those soldiers on it anymore, thank God. But yeah, they'll get it soon.
Oh, speaking of soon, soon is now.
The Arctic Assault Rift Herald spawn, never before seen. Dun 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 dun.
Go Shelly. Which I am still somewhat upset that we are calling it Shelly, by the way. I felt like my original name to it before Shelly became mainstream. Heraldine.
Oh, shoot, man, that's really good.
It's Herald.
Damn, that's super good. So this fight, though, Rodolph gets out with a sliver of health. Major Danger goes in. All of Clutch Gaming's HP bars are falling. Blaze Olive is the one who looks bad in the front line, and Clutch is able to execute on that. Advantageous now. They move forward onto Johnson. He's going to be going down next, and that's Major Danger's kill as they start to divvy it up across the team. Baron's on the menu now for Clutch.
Their entire team is just so explosive, and now they get to go straight to the Baron with a Kaisa that has a Ginsu's Rage Blade. That's free Baron with a Mountain Drake.
We talked about this, Crumbs. The Yumi into the Kiana. That's going to be dangerous chase down, and we saw Spica had to leave the area right quick. And we'll see this fight one more time.
This is that fight that you sneeze and you miss it, because it starts off with TSM having only 4 members at the party. Johnson is not there. Look at him. The Lucian has just arrived, and the second he gets in, he gets hit. It's already way too late. Rikara and Major Danger got to do enough. Sun unloaded his entire kit, and a great little flash to follow it back up.
Crazy, crazy stuff.
But I'm glad you like the Heraldine name.
Heraldine is amazing.
I thought it was fantastic. You know, my biggest opponent in Heraldine, Dash did not like Heraldine. I thought it should have been Heraldine, because we announced that Herald was a female too, kind of like Rek'Sai. So I was like, well, it should be. And the jokes before were Herald, oh, Herald, Herald, and then it's like, no, she's a girl. It's like, okay, Heraldine.
Got it. Yeah, Shelly's always been one of those names for me, where me and my friends would just josh each other, be like, come on, Shelly.
Yeah, right?
But I have to take it seriously because it's Shelly now. Good old Shelly. We call her Heraldine in our hearts, Crumbs.
Yes.
3 Mountain Drakes on the board. We're going to get quick with the Cloud Drake next. TSM setting up a bit of defense as they're waiting for the Clutch Gaming Cavalry to head down mid lane. Rodolph pushing on that bot side of the map, and the Baron minions are now in front of TSM. Oh, Clutch has a bit more time on this Baron, but they're going to get the fight down onto Spica. He goes down immediately. Treats tries to get the anchor toss backwards, but he actually doesn't get the dredge, and he cannot move to the terrain. Almost goes down the burn. Gets him. I believe that's the red buff on Rikara, paying off big there, and a huge kill coming up onto Johnson as well. They're about to run through the team of TSM, and Clutch is looking great.
They are on fire, and I am loving the explosiveness out of this composition. Before you know it, they just turn on anyone and everyone. Now we got 10 seconds. I don't think this is a game-ending play. You got just enough time for everybody else to spawn back up, but it is going to lead the first inhibitor of the game cracked for the red team.
You can see almost just shortly a bit ago how much coverage TSM had. They still have the wards pushed up across the river, but they're not able to fight in that zone at all. Things have to change. TSM just got pushed back very quick. So readjust, see if they even move these wards. Maybe they could use them as an engage in just a bit, but fighting behind that vision line did not allow them to see all of Clutch on this side.
And that's a big mistake out of Spica there, because the carries were nowhere near. They were handling a Baron minion wave. No chance that there was going to be any follow-up on that play. And every single member that continues to go in here is just asking to die, because you're already at a disadvantage, your CC has been used, and you're not letting your main damage, the Azir, set himself up. If his soldiers are not up, if he is clearing a minion wave, he can't just randomly spawn 5 more soldiers and put him there. that has a cooldown, and it has a location, and then on top of that, it has a cooldown on relocating.
Yep.
So you need to be super mindful of what your carries are doing before you go in. It's the classic syndrome that we used to call a Mumu syndrome, where it's like, what's up, guys? I hit a 5-man ult. Where's the follow-up? Like, well, yeah, you hit a 5-man ult because they were grouped, because there was no one, so they had no reason of fear being.
Yeah. I think one of the things people don't realize as well is it's really not advantageous, or it's not an advantage to move your soldiers a great distance. It's kind of like calling your Orianna ball from behind you to attack in front of you instead of shielding to then throw it out.
Yeah.
Like Azir has to have those soldiers by him, because if you do call them across the map, it's completely visualized and the team knows what you're doing. The opponents walk away. The setup, you're right, it's so intricate. And the conditional use of it right now is definitely playing against the team of TSM. 11-4, the kills are getting racked up here across the board. 4 for Rikara, 2 for Sun on the Kiana. Second play here for Clutch Gaming. DeMontes was the first yesterday. 3-0-4 for Major Danger. And Rodov having a back and forth game, but staying strong for the team with that 1 kill for Camille on the top.
I'm really curious about the Silas versus Sejuani matchup, because if
see it over and over again.
Today is an indication this is what's going to happen in LCS, because that's what happened last week. Everyone was running Corki and Azir, and then we got Corki and Azir everywhere. This time again, it's Kiana, it's Azir's, it's Corki's, but better than that, it's the Silas and the Sejuani's, because Wiggly ran it last week, it worked well, and I guarantee you every jungler is just dying to use Silas, because let me tell you, it feels great when you use your abilities better than somebody else. You could say, I was the best Nautilus in the game. It's like, there's only one Nautilus. Exactly.
If only it still mattered with LCK Game 5.
Blind Silas
Blind
versus Silas.
versus
What would happen there?
I stole your ult. We can keep stealing each other's ults.
You steal the ability to steal ult.
Actually, that would be sick. So you're actually out of an ult. That would suck, though, because you can't miss Silas's ultimate. So you literally would just negate each other every second of the game that you could.
That'd be fun.
Your only objective is to find the other Silas. 13 seconds on Baron. We'll see that once again. You can see the hourglass ticking back up to yellow. And we're now with Rodov on the bot side of the map. Rikara is just on the other end. They're going to get the engage down. That's the killer instinct right away. Brandini can't even blink before he goes down. They get a Blazealis teleport, too. They are just stringing TSM around the map.
It's the same combo we saw in the first gank. It was the Camille ultimate into Rikara and Joey, transition into a 2-man teleport play top lane. This Baron is theirs. They have a Mountain Dragon. Spica will have to attempt to steal it, because Rodov is now collapsing, and that a 4v5 Clutch Gaming can just turn and fight.
Spica just wants to get to the wall. Oh, he's trying so hard. He can't get over. Spica just rams his head into the team. And it looks like TSM is going to be able to pick up the Baron on that one. Beautifully done. They make it out. Sorry, Clutch on that one as Spica goes down. Beautifully done there. Clutch playing that perfectly to make sure he couldn't get in.
Ooh, that was just so... Oh, that was so close.
You are on the edge of your seat for this fight. I love it.
It just, everything is just barely happening. Spica flashed over the wall, wasn't able to get the steal. Blaze Olive with a great ultimate, but not enough damage. And now the end of the game, it has arrived.
Yeah, they're on it. Making Kiana look good too. Oh no! Well, isn't that something else? Inhibitor comes up. They're going to actually have 20 seconds still. Spica comes up here with Brandini. They may have the crowd control to do it with a bit of the HP. A very nice hit on that first one. Infernal Chains goes down. They're going to lose Aatrox on the top side, as that was Brandini just coming up as well. That one minion being out of range actually helps TSM by enough time to get back out on the map, but things are looking grim.
The pesky Inhibitor really being TSM's 6th man. Let's take another look at this fight, because it's a 4v5 in the favor of Clutch Gaming. And Spica in the top lane thinking, can I get in? I need to get in. rams his head into the wall, and then fail flashes. Not the greatest look, but a Blaze Olive tried to make a hero play here, but a beautifully timed exhaust really prevented him from following up. And when you're already out of mana and HP, there's just no chance, because it might look like only Sun, but Yumi's still inside him, so it's 3 people.
Gross. We have seen this over and over again now, Crumbs. It was the Arrow Abyssal Voyage last time. You know, usually it's a Nocturne and somebody else, but we are getting a lot more cool engages here from, maybe a top laner with the AD coming in with the Yumi now. Things have been pretty interesting to see how teams are getting themselves into these skirmishes.
It's a cool evolution, actually, because before...
It's just Zac. Slingshot in.
Right, it was Zac, and it was like a Nocturne TF gen. It was the globals, the true globals, and now it's the globals +1. So we opened up the party to guests, and now you got Yumi, you got Tom Kench, you got everybody else bringing in more people.
Like, how fast can you overpower the one person you're fighting? And people have found out pretty quick if you orchestrate the right champions together. And now they're going to work towards the bot lane. Qiyana in mid by herself. Sun doing quite a bit of work, and he doesn't even have anybody to stop him. The TSM is just reconsidering now as they realize 5 members are not bot lane.
Because that's an AD. It's no longer, oh, it's a mage split pushing. It's an AD that's super mobile, that also has a mountain dragon that will just melt your towers down if you let him have a chance. So it's really dangerous for Clutch Gaming. And look at the damage that Kai'Sa does to the Azir. He's already half HP. He has the base.
Prowling projectiles as well to keep TSM moving around. You don't get the position you want to fight. Always good to be able to try and come in from a side angle here instead of just the front, but wards abound here for Clutch Gaming. Inhibitor turret could go down. Qiyana just on the edge of Brandini. Final chapter goes out. They are going to lose Johnson right away. The back line of TSM can't even hide here. Blaze Olive goes down first. Treach is going to be the next to go down here, and looks like Clutch Gaming will take down the base of TSM. Another double kill for Ricaro. What a fantastic game for him. 9-0-4 on the scoreboard. Bounties all over the place. But Clutch, they're going home with that money as they take down TSM Academy.
And they gotta thank their lucky stars for Qiyana, because that is 2 games today, this whole week, 2-0, based off of a Qiyana in the mid lane. So Artemis doing double duty, everything firing for this team, and they looked good. I like what they did. They really are a very different team that we had in spring that was struggling for wins.
And picking Qiyana can go either way, I feel, at this point. Still, players say they need, a day, 24 hours, something to, we've talked to Dyrus before. How long does it take? He's like 12 games to feel comfortable in a champion, 12 real 30-minute games. But to bring
really?
that...
12? Okay.
Maybe more. Well, to bring it out and play.
Yeah, I'd do it with
maybe
1.
Scrim.
I'd do it with 0.
Snap!
Give me 0. If they don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know what I'm doing, I'll take that chance.
So that can be conditional, but it can also go in your favor, whereas we see the opponent doesn't know how to play against you. And I think that's a lot of what we got out of this game. As we take a look back at Clutch's advantages in this one, they took a lead with a mid lane fight here at 22 minutes. And this was one where you kind of said, oh yeah, you can't sleep on this composition.
Yeah, this was a great time to engage because Johnson was just collapsing from the split pushing in the top lane. So it started off as a 4v5, and I know it's hard to believe that it's a 4v5, but trust me, there's a Yumi inside one of these players. So it was a huge advantage for Clutch Gaming when this started, and it resulted off of the Baron that ended the game. Look at that. Up until that part, they were winning.
Same?
Was winning.
17.8 each.
Oh, yeah.
You were talking about when you do the same, but who's better? At least not the same champion.
They're barely touching.
That is some damage. Qiyana definitely being able to kind of output there, but also it wasn't from a behind position. Always average, always level in lane. So doing some pretty good things to make that win.
To match Azir, whether you won or lost,
that's
matching Azir is a huge deal.
And it looks difficult in the first few lanes, so there is definitely something there to check out playing her. To give us their thoughts on that win, allow me to welcome Joey to the broadcast via Discord. Joey, welcome and congratulations.
Thanks, appreciate it. How you guys doing?
Hello, good.
Not
just
too
watched
bad.
you guys kick ass with Qiyana again.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't really too prepared for the pick, but we were just kind of like, we'll just pick it, see what happens, and worked out well for us.
So in not being prepared, is that kind of like, hey, Sun's good at it and DeMonte is good at it, but we don't know what utility she's going to give us? Or it's just kind of like we go with the fights and we basically know what she does?
We just had a lot of trust in our mid laners this week. We didn't have too many scrims because a lot of people like had cancels on us, so we just weren't super prepped, and we just kind of just trusted in both of our mid laners this week for sure.
So I can tell you from experience, there has been times where teams that go on 2-0, 4-0s, those were the days where they scrimmed the least, just no practice whatsoever, because they had to resort to like, what do I know? Well, I know that this guy can succeed. So you kind of grow more confidence in your plays, and you don't tilt in your scrims.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you don't lose scrims, how can you tilt, right?
So obviously a fantastic win over TSM here. How is the team feeling overall? You guys are definitely putting up some awesome wins and seeming to gel really well together now.
I mean, you kind of realized that this was like the last week, do or die. Like, this is where we have to start making our comeback if we really want to make playoffs. So at the start of the week, we just had a meeting, like, do we want to get there? And like, we all just decided, yeah, you know, we're going to start putting in the effort, and hopefully we can actually make it to playoffs, because we weren't doing too well to begin with, but 2-0 week is pretty nice after that.
Did anyone say no? I'm not interested in making there. Not wanting to go to the
There were some doubts, you know, 'cause, we weren't doing too well and we didn't have too much faith, but like, I think eventually after this week, we're there for sure.
What's happening with you guys and the Clutch Gaming main roster as well? Because we know that McScrag is no longer with the team, and now Artemis is doing double duty. Like, how is that affecting your staff? Because you also now have ThinkCar. Like, is that just revamping the whole thing?
Yeah, so for Academy, we don't really have a coach anymore. We're kind of just doing it as players, and like we have a babysitter. And it's been actually working pretty well. And then Artemis comes and helps us do our drafts and stuff like that. And we get pretty good drafts from that. And then we just kind of run scrims ourselves. And it's been working pretty well. It's been a decent environment. So
Congratulations. That's awesome, actually. That's really fun.
I think they always see like good results when you can kind of sense the fun that players are having as well, along with, you know, putting in that work that's not burning them out. Next week, looking at Golden Guardians as one of those matches. How are you feeling as they are coming out quite strong right now?
I'm looking forward to play my old teammate Tony or Hard, because you know, last time I lost versus him, but I think this time, you know, maybe we'll put up a fight and hopefully take the dub.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, Joey. Congratulations on the matchup. The game looked like it was a lot of fun to play, and best of luck moving forward to Clutch Gaming.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, there is more league action coming up after the break. I know you were wondering, don't worry, it's coming. We'll return with Game 4 of the night, Optic Academy versus 100 Thieves. There's so many of them. Rodolph, maybe a little deja vu for himself. If he goes down here, Spica's gonna get the stun down. They don't have enough follow-up damage. There's a huge minion wave cutting at Rodolph right now, but it's gonna be enough. Sun coming in from the mid lane with a double kill on the Kiana. Rodolph gets out with a sliver of health. Major Danger goes in. All of Clutch Gaming's HP bars are falling. The Blaze Olive is the one that looks bad in the front line, and Clutch is able to execute on that. Advantageous now. They move forward onto Johnson. He's gonna be going down next, and that's Major Danger's kill. They're gonna get the fight down onto Spica. He goes down immediately. Treats tries to get the anchor toss backwards, but he actually doesn't get the dredge, and he cannot move to the terrain. Almost goes down the burn. Gets him. Clutch playing that perfectly to make sure he couldn't get in.
Ooh, that was just so. Oh, that was so close.
You are on the edge of your seat for this fight. I love it.